Morning, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to Love 500, and welcome back to day one on Project Dickie. Now there isn't going to be too many days on this. I reckon there's probably going to be 2 videos in this. We've got to clean it, we've got to clean the inside, clean the seats, sort out that stereo, fix the headlight, get it MOT'd. I've got an MOT booked for next Friday. So yeah, hopefully there's nothing wrong. I've got to check the brakes, obviously, give it all the checks, make sure everything's okay, check all the tyres, get new ones if need be. But let's start off. I've just given it a citrus pre-wash. I'm just going to hose that off, and then we'll give it a proper clean with snow foam and so on. So let's go on day one on Project Dickie. Let's go. Right, Project Dickie is now nice and clean. Again, I haven't got mad. I've just given it a citrus pre. It wasn't actually that dirty, but I've given it a citrus pre-wash and it's just a snow foam, as you can see, all over the ground still. But it's come up nice. Oh, that's someone coming round. Oh no, it's not. Don't worry. Yeah, so it's nice and clean now. As I say, it wasn't that dirty. So, as you know, not an awful lot to do this morning. I have serviced another car this morning, which was my neighbour's cleaner's car, but the car has sat for 2 years and has not been cleaned, I don't think, in all that time, and I just couldn't leave it like that. So after I serviced it, I gave it a good I gave it the same clean as I've just given this, but it's absolutely rotten. But now this one's nice and clean, so I still got everything out to do the service, because I was going to service this one as well. But now the ground is sopping wet. It means I've got to lie around in puddles. So I had enough of that last week on the mint car. So I ain't doing that. So the reason I've got my tripod out, if you'll pardon the expression, is I'm going to take these things off. I'm just going to. You probably don't need to, but I'm just going to warm it up a little bit and pull it off, and then we'll get a bit of glue remover or whatever we need on there. So let's give it a go. I'm going to go mad with this. Warm it up a little bit, and then we'll just look at that. Oh, it's this bit that goes, not the. Oh, it's leaving all the glue behind. Let's warm it up a bit more. I should use a trim tool, really. In fact, I'm going to get one. Stand by. I'm just going to go and get a little trim removal tool and try and do it with that. So it's leaving all the glue behind. Right, that's a mess, isn't it? So I think what we'll have to do on that is get the old Auto glue remover. That'll get it off. It will take a bit of elbow grease, but it will come off. I'll just go grab that. We'll try it. We'll give it a try. Right, this is the stuff. Auto intensive tile remover. So let's put oodles and oodles of it on. And we'll leave it for a little while, and then we'll come back to it. It's going to take some doing, I reckon. A bit more. So we'll soak it in that for a bit. Might have to use some isopropyl alcohol or some surgical spirit or something like that as well, but we'll get it off. I'm just going to go and do the other side, and then we can be soaking that side, and we'll just do one side at a time. But I just want to get the first bit off first. That one, you never know, it might come off cleaner, the other one. Back in a jiff. I think this is going to take some doing, you know. The other sides has come off exactly the same. Let's see how it goes. Oh no, it's coming off. It is coming off. It's just going to need some perseverance. You can see it disappearing in front of your very eyes. That's good. Ah, look at that. It's great stuff, this auto glim. There you go. Apart from all the bits and pieces that are over it. No fading of paintwork underneath, which is always a bonus. There you go, done. Let's get all the bit. I just washed it as well. That's a little chip on the paint there. But yeah, even though I've just washed it, it's now covered in black bits. It's gone. We'll touch that bit in. Actually, there's a couple of bits as well. Don't know if this wing was painted or not. I don't think it was. But there are a couple of little bits that need touching in. Such as there's a bit there, only tiny. Right, let's do the other side. Right, I've just been recording a message to Sean in the Isle of Wight there, so while that's been soaking in, I think I waffled a bit too much. Right, it's probably dried out now. Let's give it a go. Yeah, it's coming off. It's coming off. Good old auto glim. Bit old school auto glim now, aren't they? They've been around for a long time. But good products. Good products. I'm sure there's equally good products on the market. All that horrible black bits. Right, that's it. That one's done. That's it. That's one job done. Hey, onwards and upwards. Right, the next thing I'm going to try, I'm going to see if I can fix this. I'm not even sure I've got one. I've ordered one. I ordered one yesterday on eBay, just in case I haven't got one. So I'm just going to have a look, but I'm going to see if I can cut the bits off that I need to cut off and do it without taking... I'm hoping that the other... I don't know, it almost feels... Actually, you know what? I think all the brackets are broken. So I'm going to need a full lug kit, which means I might have to take the bumper off completely, but I'm going to have to at least take off this end. So yeah, so it's not actually, I'll check to see if I've got one, because what I normally do now, what I did last time was when I do one, if I've got one, I then order another one, so when I come to have to do one again, I've got one. So I think what I might do is if I've got one, I'm going to do it now. Take the bumper off. I also noticed this as well, there's a bit of a stain here. So obviously something, I don't know if it's rust from something or something has stained this and it's run down. So that hopefully will polish out. But I don't know what it is. It's really strange. But yeah, so if I can just loosen the bumper, just take it out this side and at the top, take the bolts out, take these out at the top, just go as far as the middle and the same underneath, then we can just pull the bumper out a little bit rather than having to take the whole thing off, because I don't like taking the bumpers off unnecessarily. So yeah, I think we'll do that, but that's definitely gone, so we need a complete lug kit, which I say I've ordered one, but I'm going to have a look now and see if I've got one. Yeah, I've got a full driver's side. I've written on it driver's side. It was open, but I think I opened it by mistake when I thought it was passenger side. So I've got all three brackets there and the screws, so that's good. So I can do that now. So I'm going to get that on. So I'm just going to loosen off this bumper, as I said, and we'll come back and we'll fix this and get it in. It was an absolute pig to get off that. It still doesn't want to come. The bolts that go in underneath, they are just turning. I've had to prise it out. Right, pain in the arse. And that was done up with a nut and bolt, which I have to admit I use sometimes, but it was rusted to hell. So I had to get a spanner on the back of it. So I'll put a new one on. Yeah, as I suspected, all three are broken. So I'm just going to use the old Lidl's tool to get that, get all the bits off, and then we will get the new one screwed on, and that'll be it. Job done. Oh, that was lucky. I didn't have that in my box here. I got everything but. I thought I had a full set, but it was another top one. I had two top ones. So luckily I have ordered one, but I thought, oh no, I can't do it. And then I had a route around in the garage and I found a facelift driver's side headlight which had a repair tab on. So I've just taken it off, put it on here. So that's good. So we can get this back on and get this bumper back in. That one's okay, isn't it? We're not going to worry about this. Doesn't matter. It's a locator tab, but the headlight's in the right place anyway, so it really doesn't matter. I just noticed that this is gone here as well, a little bit. Don't know if it's, don't know. I think before I put the headlight back in, I'm going to see if I can polish that up, see if it will come up. I'm going to go and get some G10 on it, or G3 on it, and see if that will bring it up on its own. Strange that. Don't know what's caused that. It could be water running down it, I suppose, and it's had a paint job, isn't it? Not a factory paint job, but who knows? Who knows? But I want to give that a clean up in there as well, so we'll do that and then we'll get the headlight back in. Yeah, glad I got that done. Saves waiting for the tab repair kit to arrive. Whatever that was, it came off with barely any effort at all. Gone. Both sides. That's good. So it was just, I don't know what it was. It was just staining rather than discoloration, which is good, of course. Right, we need to try and get this back in now. I don't know how easy this is going to be. Pulling this bumper out. Oh, we don't want to break that, of course. There we go, that's it. Let's plug it in first as well. I think this squirter bottle is completely empty. There we go. Right, let's get this in where it should be. We just put that top one in loose for the minute. And that's the side one. Keep treading on things. I'm not a tidy worker, as you've probably gathered over the years. I get surrounded by tools. Right, I think, okay, that's my wife telling me my lunch is ready. Let's get that pushed in, which it is in there in the right place. It's going to be awkward to get that in with my sausage fingers. Get it started off. I think we'll do them all up a little bit to get that front one in, because that front one you often have to move it about to get that in. So this is going to be potentially awkward, but unless it happens to be falling in exactly the right position, which it ain't. There we go. That's it. Hey, perfect. Do it up as much as I can by hand. I think that's about the limit. And then we'll do it up with a ratchet screwdriver and get it on the bolt. There we go. Before I put this bumper back on, I'll make sure it's still working. No reason why it shouldn't be, of course, but we'll test it. Wonder why they didn't, when they did this car, why they didn't put a new headlight in this side. Because they don't seem to have spared any expense on the other things they've repaired, except for this bit. Seems a bit odd. And the last one, actually we'll do that with a socket, I think. Oh, blimey. There we go. That's it. Perfect. Let's just switch the ignition on. Switch the light on, just make sure it works. I can see that's working, I can see the headlights working. Can't see the indicator. Oh yeah, it's working, that's good. Right, that's done. Excellent. Right, there we go, it's back on, all working. MOT passable now, with the same headlight. I haven't checked, oh God, I haven't checked DRLs. Hopefully, hope that DRL's working. All right, I'll do my checks next week anyway on those. I've got the number plates, so as it's dry at the moment, I think we'll change those as well. Give it a clean behind them. The camera, if you remember that I looked at the camera and I said the camera was a bit up in the air, this one is actually adjustable, so you can move it up and down, so that's why it was up in the air. Obviously it's part of this surround, so I've looked at these before, these surrounds, with the camera built in. They're actually quite good, aren't they? I'm not convinced I particularly like that surround thing, but it's better than having it in the bumper, and the ones that are meant to go in the lights don't work. Oh God, look, these have got tamper-proof screws in. Oh great. How the hell am I going to get them out? Oh God. Oh well, I'm sure we'll find a way. Same in the front as well. So obviously we can't get those off. That's the whole point of them. You can only do them up, you can't undo them. So what I'm going to have to do is break the number plate off, and then I will have to get the grinding machine and I'll put some tape around it so it doesn't damage the paint behind here. Put some tape around it, and then we'll have to get the old grinder and grind the head off, and then we'll put the screws in a different place. They're all very well, these. Stop someone from stealing your number plates, but they're not if you want to change your number plates. Now bear in mind, I think this was this car. Yeah, this car was actually on private plates. And the reason that the logbook was reissued last month, or this month, might have even been this month, it was a couple of weeks before I bought it, is because it was put back onto the old plates, which is this one. And they've obviously put the old original plates, which they must have kept, and used those stupid screws, knowing full well that someone who buys this is probably going to want to change the plates. Why can't they just use ordinary screws? It's the first time I've had these, actually. I mean, they are a good idea. Stop someone from... because the only way you can get the plate off is to break it. They are a good idea, but not when you want to change them. The first time I've ever had these. I wouldn't use them myself. But, anyway, let's get these on. Well, so much for security screws. They just pulled straight out. Look, they're still in it. I got the plate off in one piece, and the screws are still in it. So good security screws. Probably could have done with being a bit longer, I suppose, or the hole was a bit too big. Anyway, I didn't need my cutting machine, which I've got down there. Didn't need it. I might need it on the back, but at least we can get that one on now. Right, that's my new number plate on the front, new number plate on the back. Better, didn't it? That was easy to get off as well. Not quite as easy, but still easy. But that plate was broken anyway, so that doesn't matter. Anyway, that's that. It's another job done. Not much left to do, really, is there? Right, we are now in the car. As you know, we got flashing mileage. Now, we don't know whether that is because that stereo's in there, or whether it's because the Blue and Me unit was broken, which is why they put that stereo in, or whether the Blue and Me's even been taken out. We don't know at the moment. So what I thought I'd do is I would connect up to, first of all, we're on the instrument panel. We'll see if we've got any errors on that, which we haven't, which is always a bonus. And what we'll try and do, we're going to try and connect to the Blue and Me. Now, if the Blue and Me is there, even though it's not connected to the stereo, I think as long as it's not unplugged at the Blue and Me unit, I think that it will connect to it. So we need to try it. So if we connect to that, so if it's broken, I'm going to take it out anyway, or even if it's there, it might not be there. Let's see if it can connect. Yes, it can connect to it. So it is there. Radio receiver present. So that's why the mileage is flashing. So I'm hoping that by doing a proxy alignment, that stops the mileage flashing. However, I am going to take out, it says radio receiver, that's because the original one is missing. By doing a proxy alignment, it should allow it to work still. So we can't clear the errors because it's a present error. What you need to do, so at least we know it's there, and it's, well, as far as we know it's working. Let's connect to the body computer, see if we got any errors on that. So I'm hoping we can stop the mileage flashing. We may have to do it again when we take out the Blue Me unit, potentially. Probably will actually, but oh, mini crypt present, proxy present, daylights open circuit present. Oh, daylights open circuit. As far as I know, they're working. It says present, so there's no lights up for it. So we'll clear those. As far as I know, they're all working. But we'll cross that bridge as and when. Right, so we'll disconnect from there, and what we're going to do is we're going to do a proxy alignment and see if it works. So as I say, at the moment we have the mileage flashing. With a bit of luck, doing this will clear it. Airbag node EOL failed. Ooh, that might have been a previous, maybe an airbag had gone in this when it was written off before. You don't know, do you? Right, let's try it. See, have a look at service as well, see what we can find from that. My battery's going to run out any second, so I'm going to stop now, and we'll come back. Well, I'll keep it going actually. It may just cut out, but we'll keep it going while it's doing this proxy alignment. If it hurries up, we might just about get it in before the battery goes. I need to change camera batteries. Come on, airbag node. Dum 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 dum. Success. I think the convergence is the last one. Here it goes. So it is there, and it's attempting to write to the body computer, telling it, yeah, success. So I'm hoping that that might do it. It might take a couple of goes potentially, because it doesn't always do it the first time. Right, completed. Turn the key to off, which we've done. Press Y to continue, and now we'll turn it back on and see what happens. With a bit of luck, no, it's still flashing. So we'll try it again. We'll try it a couple of times until such time as it does go. It might not go. We may have to do something else to get it to go. That may well be disconnecting the Blue and Me, which we're going to do anyway. But we'll give it another couple of goes, or we'll try it a couple of times to see if it works. We've got to do it one way or the other. If that means we have to put the original stereo back in, I'll put another stereo back in. Don't want to do that, but yeah, I'll come back as and when, see if we can get it to work. Finally done it. That took 5 goes to do it. And what I did, I kept going into the body computer and into the Blue and Me, clearing the errors, because that error that was on the Blue and Me, which was stereo missing or something like that, whatever it said, I didn't actually clear it. So I went in there and cleared it. I tried it again, still didn't work. Went into the body computer, it still had an error for the configuration control. Cleared that, also with an open circuit on the light as well for some bizarre reason. Cleared that again. Went back in to the proxy alignment, and eventually it did it, and now it's not flashing. So that's the secret: is clear the errors on anything else, and then do the proxy alignment. So I don't think it would have taken 5 had I cleared all those errors. But now, as you can see, it's not flashing anymore. So the next thing I've got to do, I'm going to have a little fiddle with this. I don't know if this has got CarPlay or anything. I don't know which model this is, whether it's the basic one that I had before, or whether it's the slightly better one that that we fitted in Project Aussie, or it could be top of the range one, couldn't it? We don't really know. I'm not quite sure how to find out. We'll have a little look through the settings, see if we can find anything for CarPlay, and I suppose I could try CarPlay as well. because it'd be nice to know what the spec of it is, and then I can print out the manual as well then. It hasn't got DAB, but then I think most of them haven't got DAB for some reason. The only way you can use DAB is to use the USB cables. That reminds me, USB cables, are there any? No, so there's no USB cables. All the ones that we've had before, you get the flying USB cables. There don't appear to be any in this car. So whether that's they didn't install them or something, we might be able, if I've got some spare ones knocking around, we might be able to, although they're different connectors, aren't they? I might be able to get them from the manufacturer actually, or do I bother? We've got USB at the front there, but it would be nice, wouldn't it? I thought they all had those. Whether they've just not installed them, I need to be able to get this out, don't I? Or whether they've just been tucked up behind and not used, who knows? Don't know. This is the thing when you don't fit it yourself. You don't really know. So you've got your GPS antenna over there, which we pointed out on the walk around. Yeah, just need to figure this one out. So I'm going to do that. I'm not going to be doing much more to this today, but I've got to service it. I was going to do that today, but as the ground's been soaking wet, it's getting a bit late now. So it's about 3:30, I think, and probably within the next half an hour or so, my neighbour will be home. So I don't want to be up on ramps dropping oil this time of the day. So we'll probably do that either tomorrow or next week. But we will be back, and I'll let you know what's going on with this stereo. And obviously, as I say, we are going to get that Blue and Me unit out. We know it worked well. It's not coming up with any errors, and we can connect to it. So I think we can safely assume from that it's going to be a good one. So at least that gives us a spare one for when we get a car that it has gone, which is really good. Anyway, it seems to be downloading something there. I don't know how, because I haven't connected it to my Wi-Fi. Maybe that's not what that means. Don't know. Anyway, 15:39. There you go. It's got the clock on there, of course, isn't it? So the clock's correct on there, incorrect on there, which it would be, I suppose, because the battery's been disconnected. I've done that bolt up now, by the way, as well. I did that today, where the terminal was loose. Anyway, we'll be back. We'll have a little fiddle with this, and we'll come back. I've got the buttons working. Within the settings, there's SWC, and all you do is you press the one you want to program, and then what I've done, I don't know if that's the right way, I just keep pressing it, and then it works. So all I've done is the sound up and down. I've done the sound mute. I've done that, which presumably will open up the Bluetooth. I haven't touched the phone ones. I don't think the phone ones will work, but you can also set it up for the GPS, all sorts of things. So I'll leave it like that, and then I'll explain to the person who buys the car how you do it, and then they can set it up how they want. So that's good. So the mileage has stopped flashing, and the steering wheel controls are now working. Brilliant. I still need to get the stereo out. I'm not going to try and do that now. But yeah, that's good. So I don't think this has only got Android 9, so I think this might have been in here a little while. I don't think it's got Apple CarPlay, but I'm not sure. But it will probably work by plugging your phone into the USB. Yeah. Anyway, I just thought I'd let you know I have now got the steering controls working, so that's good. So obviously the module is in there, but for whatever reason, someone didn't actually program it in. Strange.
Today, as you can hear, I'm all coldy. I had a few messages from people over the weekend, or not over the weekend, yesterday, which was Sunday, because I put no videos out on Wednesday or Sunday this week. So I've had a couple of messages, well, more than a couple of messages, of people asking after my welfare, which is very nice. Thank you for that. Yeah, I'm fine. Apart from I've got this horrible cold. So last week I have got 2 partial videos recorded, but there wasn't enough for a complete video. The Mint car is virtually finished, so I wanted to get that completed in that one video. I've been doing some decorating. My wife had a couple of days off last week, so we were going to IKEA and places like that. So, and of course the weather, as you can hear now, it's pouring with rain. You may have noticed that I'm sitting in the 500X. That is because it is actually finally sold, and today I am having a little road trip to Bristol where I'm delivering it. I've been paid a deposit, and then as you can imagine, the buyer, who's never actually seen me or the car, doesn't even know necessarily whether I even exist, was very nervous about paying me money before even seeing a car or even being certain that the car existed. So I've convinced him that I'm a real person, and he's paid me a deposit, and I'm just about to leave to drive the 160 something miles to Bristol. He's been away for the weekend, so long weekend, so he's not getting back till 12:30, so it's about 9:30 now. It's about a 3-hour drive, something like that. So obviously depending on weather, it's meant to be showers today, but at the moment it's torrential rain and it's not showing any signs of giving up, so it looks like I'm going to have a really lovely journey. So yes, so you're not going to see much on this video. I'm not setting the camera up in the screen or anything like that, because I'm having it plugged in and using the Apple CarPlay with Waze for my journey. Just going to text him to tell him I'm en route. Yeah, so I will see you. I'll probably show you a little bit of Bristol if I can. So yeah, I'm driving to Bristol. I've got to get some petrol on the way. Driving to Bristol, and then I'm getting a train back. So I've got the train booked for 2:30 from Bristol Parkway to Paddington, and then I've got to get the tube and the train back from there. So according to my itinerary, I should be back to my local station at about 5:10 this evening. So it's going to be a long day. Oops, sorry about that. But you know, as you know, I reduced the price down to 7,995. I eventually took an offer for 7,750, and I'm delivering it for £100, which includes my train fare back, which is like just under 50 quid. And I'm sticking 30 quid to the petrol in it as well. So I'm not really charging him anything to deliver it. Would have been nice if it was the summer and I had a little road trip to Bristol in the summer, but never mind. Such is life. So yeah, so I will possibly see you when I get to Bristol, or if I stop at services on the way to get coffee or something like that, depending on how I'm doing for time, because my train's at 2:30 and I don't want to miss it. So, you know, assuming there's no problems on the motorway or anything like that, it should be I should be there by 12ish, hopefully 12:30, which will be ideal sort of time. He's about 10-15 minutes from the station, so he's going to give me a lift to the station. He's got a Fiat Panda. He's got a Fiat Panda. Of all the people, he's got a Fiat Panda. I didn't think anyone had a Fiat Panda, but he's got one. So that's going to be his work car, and this is going to be his pleasure car. So I will see you sometime, some later on in the morning. Yeah, we'll see you then. Wish me luck on this horrible drive in this horrible weather. See you in a bit. Well, stuck in traffic now. You're on the traffic jam. Delightful. Yes, indeedy. So, I'm about halfway there, really. Torrential rain. Got nice blue sky now, but absolutely torrential rain on the way. Never mind. Anyway, I'll see you in a bit. Right, we're getting there. I have stopped at the Reading services on the M4 for a wee and a, you really wanted to know that, didn't you? And a coffee from Greg's and a cheeky Greg's sausage roll. Actually, I had 2 sausage rolls, but don't tell my wife, but who's counting? They were lovely. So I've got about 80 miles to go, I think. You know what? When you get the prices from the delivery drivers, bearing in mind that there is a Copart at Bristol and Newbury's around this sort of neck of the woods as well, both of which I've had cars delivered from, and you sort of bellyache a little bit about the cost. It's quite a long way, actually. You don't realise till you're actually driving it just how far it is. So I think bear that in mind when you actually when you moan about the costs of delivery. As much as it pushes the prices of your car up, it's quite a long way, some of these places. Yeah, just made me think, really. Anyway, I'm gonna have a sip of my coffee and get on. So I'm still over an hour away from there. Hour and a quarter away. I think because I've hit some traffic twice, 2 lots of traffic. It's delayed me somewhat, but I wanted to my flight back. My train back's not till 2:30 anyway. Sorry, I got distracted by a young lady getting out of a car. Yeah, my train back is at 2:30, so I've got plenty of time. But I'll probably get there nearer 1 now, I expect. Cold still giving me jib. Anyway, yeah, I'll see you when I'm there. so here I am at Bristol Parkway station, as you just saw. I was an hour early for my train. Because I've got a pre-booked seat on a particular train, I've had to let 2 trains go that were going to Paddington. I'm hoping I'm going to bump into a bear when I'm there. But I've got about another 10 minutes now until my train arrives. Not much going on this station. Had myself another cup of coffee and a bag of crisps. Yeah, just watching the world go by really. Yeah, so I'll see you at the other end.
6 and 7 standard class, so 3, 5 and 8
Your attention please.
Oh, I was just about to speak.
1634 Southeastern service to Gravesend
That one.
via Sidcup has been cancelled.
Oh, what a
Will
shame.
start from Hither Green instead. This is due to a
I'm
fault
trying to
on the
talk.
train. Passengers are advised to catch the 1627
I feel like a muppet standing here with my phone in my hand.
Hither Green to connect with the
Probably look like one as well.
service.
So I
1627 Dartford service.
I've got a cold still.
Customers are advised that they may be entitled to compensation for this disruption.
Yeah, waffle, shut up.
Sidcup and to Dartford, your next fastest direct service.
Right, I think they've finished talking at long last. Oh God, I give up.
1627 Southeastern service to
I give up.
Dartford via
Trying to talk.
Sidcup.
And they're not being quiet. So yeah, I'm at Charing Cross, so I'm nearly home now. Just this one more train to go, then a bus, and I'll be home. All done. I'll come back when I get home. Oh, it's dark now. Right, I'm off the bus, off the train, off the bus. Nearly home. So that's it. I know I didn't show you very much of me doing my delivery. I didn't really film any of the journey at all, really, did I? But never mind. This is going to get put into another video anyway, so that's it. That's the end of the 500X as we know it, and it's off to its new owner. Anyway, back to the normal video.
Morning, welcome back. A nice sunny day, the day after the storm. So not the calm before the storm, the calm after the storm. And then we've got another one coming tonight. Wonderful. Anyway, we're back on the car today, Project Dickie. And it's been sitting around for a little while. As you know, the trials and tribulations I've had of Project 2 Minty, which is still not resolved, even though Glenn Mechanic has been and done what was a problem. There is another one. I'll cover that on that video, which will be, you'll see next week. Nothing much, hopefully. And then it'll be sold next week. But we're back on this one now. Today is MOT day. I think we're virtually ready for MOT. I've got to strap the battery down. I swapped the battery over because the battery was flat as a pancake. So I've put a spare one that I had in it, which seems okay. I'm just going to strap it down because it's not strapped down. I've got to fill up the washer jets, just go over it again. I think everything's working. I think I've already done all that. Tyres are all okay as far as I know. Obviously suspension joints and that, but you never know with those. As much as you look at them, you can never be quite certain that whether they're okay or not, as I found out on Project Minty. 2 Minty. But let's, fingers crossed I ain't got to do it on this one as well. So this one, in theory, this one, what have I got left to do on it? Let's turn you around and we'll just go through quickly. I apologise if it's already on the video before this, but that video has been in the can for quite a couple of weeks possibly now. Might be even a little bit longer than that, so I'm not quite sure. So let me just quickly go through what we've got left to do once we get this through an MOT.
I have actually just noticed that the DRLs aren't on, engine's running, so they may be switched off. They may be switched off because one of the bulbs has gone. DRLs don't come up on the MOT, so I won't worry about it for too much. I just need to make sure the main beam works. So I'm just going to switch the lights on, make sure the main beam works. In fact, let's do that now while you're with me. And then we'll go quickly, as I say, just quickly go through. Oh, we got music, turn the stereo off. Get off, that's it, right. Sorry about that. Right, yeah, lights. Actually, we'll flash them. That one works. Let's put the lights on and put the headlights on. You can see that one works. Just need to check the other one. Yeah, I can see it in the garage. Yeah, they're all right. That's all right. Let's turn the lights off and toggle the DRLs back on. Maybe it's that. Maybe one of the bulbs has gone. Hello. Hello. I'm pressing that. Nothing's happening. Why is that? Oh, I wonder if it's something to do with this. Shouldn't be, should it? Oh. Oh, that's interesting. That is very interesting. Oh, that's a bit of a problem, isn't it? Nothing's working on here. So I can't set the clock. And I also can't turn the DRLs on and off. Oh dear, how the hell are we going to get around that? Oh, that is not good. You know what we might have to do? I can't have it like that. That might have to come out and the original one go back in, which means we lose the camera and everything else. Oh dear. There's no other way around it, is there? You press that button and it scrolls through the menu and it's not doing that. Oh dear. Well, that was something I didn't know about. As we know, we got the mileage to stop flashing. The buttons are working, but nothing on there. Now, is that the speedo or is it something to do with the stereo? My money's on something to do with the stereo. That's annoying. That's really annoying. So I might potentially swap back to an ordinary stereo. I've never known that before. Anyone seen that before? So I can press the button on the stalk, which scrolls between all of these things. But nothing. Oh, it's come up. Menu. Oh, why all of a sudden has it come up? Daylights. Off. On. Check daytime running lights. Yeah, there's obviously at least a bulb out. That's why they've been turned off. I wonder why all of a sudden that's just started working. Let's have a look. Interestingly, neither of them are working. Let's hope it's just the bulbs. That's really weird. So we'll turn them back off for now, because obviously we don't want any anything coming up on the MOT. Warning lights. Passenger bag service. Language units. Auto close. Set dates. Exit menu. Well, it seems to be working now. That's really weird, isn't it? That's really weird. Okay. Well, at least it's working. So we know the DRLs aren't working, so that light will go off once we stop the engine. In fact, we'll just stop the engine now. We don't need to have that on. Right, let's quickly go through what we've got to do. So, as you know, as I said, we got the steering controls working. We got the flashing mileage to stop. Stereo all works. Heater works. I think we've got aircon is working okay. Seats. We've got to clean the seats. There's no rips or burns or anything in any of these seats. They're just a bit on the grubby side. They're not massively dirty. Passenger one is a bit. Someone's obviously pooped themselves there. Yeah, it's just a little bit grubby. It's not too bad at all, actually. It's relatively clean. Steering wheel needs clean. Just the general interior clean. But yeah, the seats and the carpet. Probably won't need a shampoo. If it was the summer, I'd probably do it. But now it's autumn stroke winter. I'm not going to, because it just takes too long to dry. So unless we'll spot clean it if need be. But failing that, we'll just give it a good hoover. But obviously, seats coming out, and they'll go in the conservatory to dry. We'll do that next week. So I think interior wise that's it. The other thing, so we put the new plates on. Obviously we've got the reversing camera that we know about, which I think I pointed this out. It's actually adjustable because it was pointing up in the air. Now it's not. Not the best picture in the world, but it does work. Tyres are all okay. That's got virtually new tyre. So's that. I think all the tyres are virtually new on this. So the one thing I did want to try and do, I bought a new. Actually, I'll put that on in a minute. I've not unpacked it yet, but I bought a new one of those. Funnily enough, I've been looking at cars on BCA yesterday, and a lot of the cars on BCA have not got a rear parcel shelf. Now that's the sort of thing you expect from Copart. I'm surprised with BCA. Is it because they're just missing? Or is it because someone's stealing them? Don't know. But it seems a strange thing I suppose it's an easy thing to steal, isn't it? You haven't got to unbolt it or anything, you just lift it off. But yeah, loads of them. Matt's always in the boot, where these ones still are, of course. Yeah, strange one. We're missing bits of our toolkit there, of course. We've got to get that centre bit. I've got one up in the loft, so we'll get that out today and put that in. Doesn't matter for the MOT, but I want to try and sort this out if I can. So it comes up here, down there, and that's a bit of a really daft place to run it. So where have they? So they've come along here, haven't they? Come along here and gone up under here into the car and then run it in that way. Now that is really daft. That is just daft. So I think what I am going to do, I'm either going to cut those wires here. I mean, that's been forced in between the glass and into here, isn't it? And I assume it's been brought in through there, which is absolute. I mean, that must have been a real pain to do that. Why on earth would you do it like that? So I might well cut those wires and then run the cable. Locate the cable and then run it down where you would normally run it and then under here. Because I'm not going up here, once I cut the cable over there, don't forget I've got to take the Bluetooth unit out of here, so I've got to drop all this down anyway, so it won't be difficult to try and remove that. So I'll cut the cable and then rejoin it if necessary. If I can get to it okay and pull it back through, then I'll do that, because that obviously means that's only if I can get the stereo out, which we may or may not be able to do. I'm going to try and do that, but yeah, I'm not leaving that like that. That's just stupid. What a silly way of doing it. Well, if someone did it themselves, I'd like to think someone didn't do it professionally like that, but if they thought about it, why on earth did they not? It's so much easier to run it that way and then under the foot plate. Daft, absolutely daft. But as I say, to get to the actual back of it, I've got to get the stereo out, so I will attempt that either later today or next week. Oh yeah, under the bonnet. Let me just get the bonnet open. Right, so under the bonnet, as I said at the beginning of this little bit, that I've got to strap this down. I was going to swap the battery. Actually, I need to that's all threaded around the wrong way now. Where it was really difficult to get these poles on. You know what? I might change the battery. I might put this car is going to sell before the other one, the Pearl one. And the Pearl one's got a brand new battery, so I'm going to swap them over actually. Yeah. And the only other thing I've got to do, as far as I know, for the MOT, is to fill up the washer fluid bottle. I think that's completely empty, so I just got to do that. So we got the headlights sorted. We did that the other day. We've got our new plates on, which have now got bird poo on. So apart from that, the only other thing we've got to do is service it. So there's not a massive amount of work to do, and obviously the clean up. We're going to have a little look at this and try and tidy that up and maybe put a bit of paint on it. And it looks a bit rusty there, doesn't it? Yeah, it is a bit rusty there. So I'll get some rust converter on that and then stick some paint over it just to tidy it up. It's all right on the outside, but obviously if there's rust there, that might go through over time. So we'll do as much as we can to prevent that. That's it, I think. So it all really depends on whether it passes its MOT or not today. There is nothing on it that I can think of that will make it fail. Obviously, if there was, I'd change it. But of course, that's why we have an MOT. We don't know. So I'm going to swap the battery, fill up the fluid. That will do for the time being, and then we'll come back as soon as we've got the MOT. So I will see you
this afternoon once we get back from the MOT, and I'll tell you how we got on. Okay, we're back from the MOT. We are back from the MOT. Wasn't too painful, went for a little walk around the town, got a call from them whilst I was walking back, and it's all done. So let me show you the certificate, let me show you, I'm giving the game away, haven't I? Let me show you whether we got a pass. Let's go. There we go, we have a pass. We have a very small advisory. Exhaust, there's a minor leak of exhaust gases in the rear, so that's the join in the exhaust where the exhaust pipe joins the back box. So it just needs some exhaust paste and possibly tightening up the clamp. So I'm going to get it up on ramps now, and we're going to do that. Right, I'm underneath. As you can see, it is a new exhaust. I thought it was, or newish, not brand new, not spanking new, but definitely been replaced. If we go back from the tailpipe, normally you only have one bracket here. We have two for some reason. One looks newer than the other. It looks like it almost looks like they've put a joining bit in the middle. That's what it looks like. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some exhaust paste around it, top and bottom, and then I'll see if I can do the bolts up anymore. And that should do it, I think. I mean, that's a bit sooty just there, isn't it? So I imagine that's probably where it's coming from rather than the top. But I'll give it a wire brush first, and then as I say, we'll put some gun gum around it. That should do it, I should think. Okay, that's not too big an issue, is it? That's good. Right, that's it, done. I'm not going to crawl under there again and show you. So I've got the old paste around both ends, and one bolt was done up very tight, the other one was a little bit loose, which I've done up. It was a bit difficult because it was very rusty, but I was tempted to cut it off and put a new one on, but it seems okay. Yeah, so that should take care of that. So now we have, in effect, an advisory-free MOT because I've sorted the advisory. That's in record time. It was only less than an hour ago I got the MOT. I'm going to leave it. I'm just going to roll it off the ramps for the time being. I'll let the gun gum go off for a bit before I start the engine and move the car out of the way. So still got some stuff to do on this car. Nice that we've now got a nice MOT, but we've still got to do, what have we got to do? Service it. We've got to service it. Got to sort that sort that reversing camera wiring out. Potentially put a dash cam in, as I've got one. Depending on if I can get the stereo out. That's yeah, if I can't get the stereo out, then I'll leave that, but hopefully I will be able to. Got to sort out the two DRLs, clean the seats. I think that's it then. But we'll do all that on the next video. I want to get this video out for Sunday, so we are going to end here. Haven't done a massive amount on this video, but I want to get it done for Sunday because I don't want 2 Sundays in a row with no video, because you all told me off. A lot of you told me off for not having one. It ruined your Sunday. Anyway, that is it for the time being. We'll be back next week on this, and also we'll be back and finally finishing off Project Minty, 2 Minty, and then that car will be gone next week. This car will then be probably done by the end of next week, ready to go. That leaves us with one car. The one car I've got left is the Pearl one. I think I'm possibly going to tart it up and I'm going to whack it on eBay cheap. It's not really up to my standards. I don't like it. Got that key issue. I'm going to sell it like that. I've made a spare key for it, so it's got a spare key. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to I'm going to have a little go at some of the dents on it. Not go mad. Do a little bit of paint on that bonnet, but not go mad. And see if I can get my money back on eBay, and maybe even a little bit of profit potentially. I've not spent anything really on it apart from set of number plates. That's all I've really. I don't think I've bought anything else. I bought seats, but of course I haven't put them in yet because it needs new seats because of the fag burns. But we won't worry about that for the time being. But that will be on another video. This is this one, and we will see you next week on whichever project it is on Wednesday. Not sure. Got some other stuff coming up for you as well. Got a review on a topped-on diagnostic machine. I think I mentioned it before. I had some problems with it. They're sorted now, and I know Topdon are waiting for me to get the review on the channel. So hopefully that will be coming up in the next couple of weeks. We're also going to do a video on the key the key cloning thing, which I've mentioned on here, saying I've created new keys. I've started doing a video on that. I need to finish that off, and a couple of little how-to videos that people have asked me to do. So that's what's coming up. And then, of course, once this one's done, if I do sell that other one on eBay, we'll be looking for a new project. Now, I want to get another R bath, but I've got to get the right one at the right price. So it might take some time to get another R bath. So we'll be looking BCA and Copart. I've got a few on my watch list. We'll see what happens. But until then, as always, don't forget, if you're not a subscriber, hit that button, subscribe to the channel, give us a thumbs up, and until next week, until then, take care, stay safe, and we'll see you soon.